Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Clear Signal. I'm your host, David Wu, and this is our Chief Business Officer, Mazi.
Well, I'm glad to talk to you again.
Yes, thanks for joining us on the show today. And I think, in the world of radar today, we get a lot of questions about operational modes of the radar, which is something that we, really emphasize with software-defined imaging radar in our Z Prime and Z Pulse platforms. So, Mazi, can you tell us a little bit about how different modes in the radar work?
Yeah. So this is a question we get from a lot of customers. A lot of radars out there come in, certain modes, 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is. It's hard-coded and you can't do anything about it. What we tell the customers are that you could get the sensor from us and we could provide as many modes as you would need. Some customers want the same sensor to be used to see the first 10 meters or 50 meters or maybe 500 meters. But there are a lot of parameters that we could tune and change to optimize for a certain range. And that's what we could do with our software-defined imaging platform. We could create custom modes for customers, and that's a service that they really appreciate to have.
Right. So, maybe we'll take a step back first and kind of explain a little bit about, what modes even are and why you might want to have multiple modes, right? So like a radar's specification table will list something like range resolution, Doppler resolution, angular resolution, et cetera, et cetera. But, radar is all about optimizing your system as a whole and working within your constraints. And so, as it turns out, you may be able to detect, for example, there might be a trade-off, right, from mode to mode. If you want a short-range mode that goes up to, say, 85 meters, which is, I think, one of our short-range modes for Z Prime, you might have a very fine range resolution, so you can detect kind of objects that are close together in range. But if you take that same radar and you decide to run a long-range mode, your range resolution will scale with the distance that you've increased the radar range by. So if you want to go from 85 meters to 800 meters, your range resolution will decrease by a factor of 10.
Yes, because we changed the bandwidth.
Right. Well, each step is going to be 10 times larger than your short range mode, and so optimizing for the target application that our customers have is something that we're very comfortable with doing, and something that our platform provides, because not everyone needs, let's say, 85 meters. They might need 175 meters. They want to maximize the performance they have for that range that they're interested in, and that's like something that we're happy to work with, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have access to 500 parameters in the RF radio and signal processing algorithm, beamforming. We could change all different aspects of the FMCW chirp. We could make a lot of trade-offs. We could trade off range, bandwidth, mean max Doppler, all sorts of important aspects of the radar could be traded off with the parameters that we have in our disposal. We tune the sensor specific to the customer need, and that's something that is very unique, and our customers are really happy about it. It's essentially a service that, from what we know, not offered by any other company that sells 4D imaging radars.
Right. So, by default, our sensors come with a set of modes already. I think Z Prime comes with a set of anywhere between, 7 and 10 default modes. And that's like one size fits most. But yeah, to really optimize the performance of the radar for the application, we offer custom modes. And on top of this, when the radar moves from environment to environment, let's say from the highway to like a parking lot, you may want to change the mode of the radar so that you get better performance. In that parking lot scenario where you only care about short range stuff, can squeeze the most out of the hardware and the processing of the platform, right?
Yeah, and also like customers in, let's say, agricultural mining, they want to see all the reflections from the ground because that is important information for them. But some customers may be in delivery robotics or autonomous applications that are running on roads, they might not necessarily want to see, the reflections from the pavement. So we could define and design a mode that essentially filters out unnecessary reflections from the pavement. Let's say there's a crack on the pavement. Maybe we get the reflections from the crack, but the crack on the pavement is very inconsequential for a driving application. We'll detect a pothole or a speed bump, but there's a threshold. We could define a threshold that, hey, we would detect a pothole for you, or we would detect a speed bump, but we're not necessarily detecting a crack that is like, let's say, 5 millimeter in gap. And that's very useful.
Kind of what you're saying is, we're not just limited to like the base parameters of the radar, like range resolution. Yeah. There are other parameters in our 500 plus, parameter set that you can use to basically, optimize the radar detection for something that's a little bit more nebulous, like ground reflection.
They need our technical support, and sometimes they need more than technical support. They need a turnkey solution because they want to get something done. They really care less about what type of sensor they're using. They want something to be done. And what we offer to select number of customers is our full service to give them a turnkey solution, which is going to be sometimes a lot more involved than just providing, the sensor. We'll go through the full stack. Any experience you have with any specific customer without naming names? Do you have any experience like on the type of full solution that we've done for a customer, and the challenges that we've faced, and the challenges that business would face when they get the sensor from us? And if they were going to do it themselves, what type of expertise do they need? What type of team should they assemble to be able to do what we could do for them?
So let's take traffic monitoring as an example. The final output that you care about is, for example, how many cars are in which lane, and maybe what type of car is it, and maybe also how fast is that car approaching? Is it stopped? Is it approaching at a certain speed? Things like that. Are there bicyclists, pedestrians? Where are they in the scene? And these are things that you can, these are insights that you can extract from the point cloud of the radar. But it's just not that straightforward to go from raw point cloud to these insights, right? This, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like your final data output. And this is typically the job of like a radar perception team, where you may classically do things like some kind of filtering, clustering, tracking of objects, classification of different objects in the point cloud, and maintaining these classifications over time. And then on top of all of that, integrating that with your world map, with your lanes, with where you expect different cars to be, and this is not a trivial task. And at least these days, implementing that stuff is not turnkey yet. And so what we've done at Zadar is, when the application is unique and compelling, we will work with customers to define a pipeline, do some experiments, and see how well the radar performs in their specific application, and see what kind of outputs we can gather. There's ground truth, there's our outputs, and then we work on our models, we work on our algorithms to give a final software package that takes in the radar point cloud and outputs the data that you need.
What do you think is the most difficult part of the radar point cloud that our customers in general struggle with and fail often to get what they want from it? What part of that point cloud is, or data is so difficult to analyze? And
if you ask me, I don't think it's particularly challenging, but this is something that we're very familiar with. what I can say is that radar data is different than other sensors in the way that it's sparse. Where a LiDAR or a camera, you'll have a defined geometry of pixels, and you're going to sample your object every 1 degree or every pixel or something like that. And also there's a lot of existing models and techniques and well published approaches to detecting these things with LiDAR data, with camera data. It's enjoyed a lot of academic study and literature. Radar is still an emerging field, and so the know-how to apply techniques in the right way can't just take LiDAR techniques and apply them directly to radar, because LiDAR is a dense sensor, radar is a sparse sensor. And there's also this fifth dimension even with RCS of data that we can gather and leverage that really requires some deep knowledge of radar fundamentals, how the system works, in order to extract all the juice you can out of that 5D point cloud.
Yeah. Now, good points. Well, as you said, there's no specific reason why radar should be so much harder than the other sensors, but it just happens that there aren't as many examples out there.
Well, the main thing I think is, classical radars, and when I say classical, I mean, traditional automotive AEB radars are just not designed to deliver the level of performance necessary to solve problems outside of AEB, really. So, and it makes sense, because why have a sensor that's so high performance if all you're doing is emergency braking? You want to size your system appropriately. But now that we have, for example, Z Prime, Z Pulse, these high performance imaging radar solutions with really excellent angular resolution, really excellent field of view, really fantastic range resolution, Doppler resolution, and outputs like RCS, that kind of unlocks a whole new set of possibilities that really, the market is just starting to recognize.
I'll give you an example. Recently, we had a customer that was working with our Z Prime for quite some time, like months. We managed to work with them, and in essentially a few hours, we managed to collect enough data and show feasibility and performance that was a lot more than what they were able to achieve themselves, just because we made all of our experience available to the customer in such short time. And they were very satisfied, and it really moved things forward really quickly after that. So I would tell our customer that try us. It will be very rewarding.
Right. I mean, we're happy to provide the sensor, right? We're happy to change modes as necessary. But I think, part of the reality is we've seen our radars applied across so many different domains for so many different edge cases. And, we offer the sensor, and customers are welcome to do whatever they want with it. But perhaps they've only looked at one or two, applications for radar. And we've just had so much breadth of experience, and we've solved so many different problems across so many different applications that, we have a lot of deep know-how in how to best set the radar up, tune the radar, and also point you in the right direction for your processing algorithms to get a good result.
Yeah, so exactly. This is what we could offer to our customers that it might not be really available from any other radar provider. We offer our expertise to help them achieve their goals in the shortest time possible.
It's really, the breadth of the expertise that we have that is useful. And not to name specifics, but we've looked at radar, in detecting dynamic objects in driving scenarios. But we've also used radar extensively to detect static scenarios, to look at fine details in the environment that normally you wouldn't care about in a driving scenario, to look at the changes, very, very small changes in shape and in the environment, in the movement of the radar. Just so many different applications that you never know when a technique that we've developed to solve a certain problem in a different field will apply to to this next problem that we're working on.
Exactly. So yeah, so the good point is we would like our customers to tell us about their pain point. And as you said, maybe we have developed something for another application that would be really useful for the other application.
Really relevant.
Very relevant. And, maybe our customers wouldn't necessarily know about it because this is what we do day and night, 24/7. And we're more than happy to help our customers achieve their goals.
Thanks for joining me again, Mazi. And thank you everyone for joining us on our sixth episode of Clear Signal. If you have a specific application in mind that you think Radar would be, the right solution for, or if you're just curious about the types of things that we've done with Radar, please feel free to contact us, to reach out. We're always available to support your questions and your projects.